So, Bob, just finally getting that win and getting the monkey off your back, what's that do for the confidence in this team?
I hope a lot. I don't know. I mean, I got them together after the Oklahoma game, and I said, fellas, I mean, we're going home for 3 or 4. Let's go win. Let's go win 4, and all of a sudden then we're 4 and 5, and it looks a whole lot different, and go from there.
What'd you think of Jimmy and his performance, and then your rebounding overall?
I thought Jimmy was terrific. But, Jimmy's a guy who really cares. He's a guy who works really hard. And, when you think about a guy who came in here and lost the weight that he lost in order to be able to play, and his skill level's gotten so much better. As junior college coach told Ron, he said, tell Hugs I was wrong. I told him there's no way he'd be able to score for you, and look what he's doing. Because he works. I mean, he's a guy who he puts time in, and he really competes. He wants to be good.
You made free throws tonight.
Well, that's because he puts time in. It's a heck of a coincidence that the guys that put time in are better than the guys that don't.
You see it so often in college basketball. Team gets up 17 points, and all of a sudden the lead's gone. I mean, there has to be a dynamic that works into that it happens as often as it does. Especially like today, you guys, 15 minutes into the second half, they were shooting 85% from the field for 15 minutes. Any ideas what the dynamic is there?
Bob, if I knew that, I could write a book and sell it to every coach in America. I think they came out with an edge because, we pretty much manhandled them in the first half. I think they came out with an edge. I think we didn't come out with the same kind of edge, and we got a little careless with the ball. I mean, they stripped us from the ball I don't know how many times. I mean, I'd like to look and see, what happened. I don't think we secure the ball very well. We have a tendency to hold it down. You hold it down, somebody hits it, you're going to lose it, instead of cradling it and raising it up to your chest. So I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I think it was a combination of them coming out trying to get back in the game, knowing that they needed to make a run to get back in the game, and I think a combination of us just not taking care of the ball the way we need to take care of the ball.
And what's the, you've lost 5 games in a row. You see a 17-point lead go down to 2 points. What's the way you keep them from letting bad thoughts get in their mind, or do you? Or do you just let them go?
They were good in the huddle. They were probably better than I was. Yeah, they were probably better than I was. They were good in the huddle, and Keaty's been great. I mean, Keaty is without a question our leader. He's the guy that really I think runs the show. And he was good. Joe was good. I thought our bench was good. I think it was just those guys, and then, then I think the other guys kind of get on board when they see those guys are still enthusiastic and talking about winning a game.
Bob, you make free throws, you move the ball really well tonight. There's a bunch of good things there too, but just the way that you talked about kind of playing with an edge, and I think you said manhandling him. Jamie said that you're the most physical team he's played this year. Said it wasn't a basketball game. That style you all played, I mean, just even with 0 and 5, but to play hard and to play the way that you want to, I would imagine that's the most redeeming for you.
Mike, I think we all realized we had opportunities and we just kind of gave them away. We had an opportunity to beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma. We had an opportunity to beat Oklahoma State. We've had plenty of opportunities. We maybe could have, should have been a whole lot better off than what we are right now. But right now, I'm gonna settle for just winning one. It feels good to win one.
You said for a while the energy and the effort had things recently Saturday said that wasn't a problem.
No, I mean they've never. As at 0-5 and even losing at Oklahoma, they were never bitching. They were never down. They were. Hey, let's go get the next one. We can win. We can make a run. And I got them together and just said, fellas, we're going to play 3 at home and certainly a winnable away game. I mean, let's go make a run. 4-5 sounds a lot better than 9-0-9. I tell you that.
Your ability to limit them in transition. They didn't have a fast break point in the first half. I think they only had 8.
We scored. It's hard to run on a score. And our guards are good. I think Keedy is one of the premier on-the-ball defenders in the country. He's really good, and he kind of stops a lot of penetration. And we just didn't let them get on a run. They're really, really good when they're coming at you on the run, and we kind of kept them from doing that. Not entirely, but probably a lot better than most people have.
Coach, like Bob was saying, it's 62-60. There's 5 minutes left. Jimmy made some free throws. Stevenson found him for a dunk. But then down the stretch, some of the plays that Joe made, how critical are those plays in that moment and in that situation? A couple of drives, a foul line jumper.
Joe's one of the guys that has made plays all year. I mean, Joe has kept us in games that we otherwise would not have been in. Joe has never been the problem.
The hiring of DeMar, how quickly can he help you get into the flow? How much does it help that he?
He's already who? DeMar? He already helped us. He's already helped us when our guys are overstretching and he's just kind of fooling around and he walks out to the WV in the middle of the floor and drains about 6 straight that didn't even hit the rim. And they're going like, wow. And they know. I mean, they know he was the 5th pick in the draft. They know he was the National High School Player of the Year. They know he had an NBA career in spite of the fact that in a car wreck that he was lucky to be able to do what he's doing now, and they understand that. They know that. They're well read. How's that? They're well read. They can get on the internet and look up DeMar Johnson without any problem. And he's a great person. He's just an absolutely great person. And he's got experience to be where a lot of those guys would like to be.
Bob, when you had him as a player, did you envision him as a coach? And when you had this opening, was he the first guy you went to, or what made you think, okay, he's the guy that can do this?
I recruited him. He was a National Player of the Year. We beat every big name you can think of, recruited him. And we're fortunate to get him. I mean, I went up to Maine Central and sit down and talk to him, and the people that paraded in there before I went in, you would be dumbfounded at the people that went in there. And Actually, I got 2 bags of ice and walked in and said, put these on your ears, man. These guys have just worn you out. Put it on your ears, cool your ears off a little bit. I just need to talk to you for about 15, 20 minutes. And what I said to him is, you want to go win a national championship, we had the best center in the country. There ain't any question. He'll be the number 1 pick in the draft. We got a small, and I said this to him: you're not going to play center. Kenny won't let you do that. You're not going to play small forward. Pete Michael will never let that happen. Pete was like the 16th pick in the draft or whatever it was. I said, you're not going to play point guard. Satterfield and Logan have that kind of locked down, and you're not a point guard to start with. And Jermaine Tate's not going to let you play power forward. Jermaine's pretty damn good. So the place that I have that I think you fit is as an off guard, because you can shoot it, you can pass it. You give us even more size than what we have now, more athleticism than what we have now. Let's go win a national championship. That was it, man. And the next thing I know, he calls, says, "I'm coming, coach." So I'm excited about this. I'm excited with the fact that he can go into D.C. and everyone knows him, and he can go into D.C. and we have done. I'm not embarrassed to say that we haven't done a very good job in D.C. I think Gail did a much better job in D.C. than we did. We really didn't do a good job at all. And you think about the players that have come through here from D.C. We need to get in there and do a better job. And he's as good a guy as there is to go in and help us do that.
This may be counterintuitive, but does it help a little bit that he doesn't have an extensive coaching background, that he's kind of a fresh eyes, maybe a fresh approach?
I don't know. I've done this for 40-some years. I would think I got a pretty good idea what goes on. I know I didn't know when I was his age what I know now. So he's got great experience. He's got great experience. He's played at the highest level there is in college basketball. He's played at the highest level there is in professional basketball. And for anybody to think that he's this tall, skinny guy who's soft, when you stop and think what the guy went through to come back and play in the NBA. I went in. Kenyon and I actually went in and saw him. I mean, it was the day, the morning of the accident, and to walk in there and see that halo on his head, and to come out of that the way he came out of that and still be as productive as what he was as a player is absolutely remarkable.
Coach, starting 5 tonight, Joe, heavy minutes off the bench. Muhammad, 10 minutes. Looked like you really just kind of had your core tonight, and that's what I'm going with. Was that kind of the thinking there?
Not really. I wanted to play Seth more. It's the flow of the game and defensively what Keedy and Joe were doing. How do you take them out of the game? And then Eric made seemingly every shot in warm up. So you think, man, maybe he comes out of it and maybe he gets on a roll. No, it was just what I thought gave us the best chance.
On Eric, are you seeing signs that he is coming out? I mean, he had some bad turnovers tonight, but he also had some nice assists. Seems like he stayed within the flow of the game for the most part. Are you seeing signs of him coming out of it?
He's getting better. I mean, he's getting better, and he's he's starting I shouldn't say starting. He's become coachable, more coachable, and you know, he and I have a relationship where, you know, I mean, he knows that I know he's a little bit crazy, and he knows I might be crazier. So.
Well, this is a little thing, but the way that you kind of squeezed their dribbler on the ball screens early on seemed effective. It kind of rattled them, but it also seemed like your defense kind of got alive there, and you had great energy from that point forward. It seemed like right from the jump.
Well, Mike, we did a terrible job of guarding ball screens in practice, and I just said, screw it, let's go double it. Let's go double it and rotate, and we worked more on double teaming and rotating than we did on guarding ball screens.
Did it affect you positively?
Hmm?
Did it affect you positively? I mean, it worked.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. They hurt us in the second half because they were running at us, and you know we didn't slow them down in transition as much as we did in the first half.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.